I started with zero experience, and in just 1 year, I managed to build an AI business from scratch. The business is actually putting $3,000 in revenue without calculating any costs. And I did this with no formal education, no degree or investors. And I'm going to show you how to do it. Well, it's just a proven blueprint that actually works. And I have to thank Liam Otley for helping me with that. So in this video, I'm going to give you the exact blueprint on how to start an AI business from scratch, even if you're just a beginner. So by the end of this video, you know exactly what AI business to start, and you have a 6-month roadmap guiding you on how to do it step by step. And I'll share with you all the resources that I used down in the description below, completely free. So this video is going to be split into 3 key parts. First, we're going to be discussing the AI business landscape, what the top 5 opportunities are out there right now, and why it's the perfect time to start. In this section, I'll be sharing my own personal learnings on how I managed to start my actual AI business, and I'll show you each and every business that I got into and my failures and my successes and what to do and what not to do. Next, we're going to go through the 3 phases that you need to take. These are the phases that I used to start my AI business, the phases that I actually took in order for me to run a successful business as a beginner. And then to complete this video, third phase is going to be your 6-month roadmap. It's going to be crystal clear so that you can follow each step, making sure that you are able to actually start and run the AI business. So by the end of this video, you have access to all the resources. So I'll try and make it very easy for you. All right, since we're in phase 1, let's talk about the AI business economy, looking at the global economy right now and what's going on and how AI is going to be affecting it going forward. The actual truth is right now, the middle class is being wiped out right in front of our eyes. And I'm pretty sure that you've noticed that even your close friends and relatives now have to work extra hard just to bring in some extra money back home. And that is not a coincidence. It's because AI is now slowly replacing the jobs that are available. People thought that AI was not going to be able to take on complex tasks like accounting or engineering, but AI is slowly coming through and is slowly taking those jobs and making it much harder to go home with that thick check, if you know what I mean. And the stats don't lie. In 2024, almost 40% of companies replaced workers with AI. And PwC predicts that in 2030, almost 30% of the jobs are going to be replaced by AI. So no career is safe, especially the ones that I mentioned before, be it accounting or law or engineering. And unfortunately, a lot of people are going to come out of this AI movement as losers, but that's not going to be the case for everyone. I'm pretty sure that if you're watching this video, you're now aware that AI is slowly taking over and you need to grab onto this opportunity as fast as possible. So I'm here to help you and make sure that the way that you want trying to actually take makes sense and you're successful in it. So let's go. So in this section, we're going to be covering all the 5 business models that you can get into. I've done about 3 of the 5 businesses that I'll mention in this video, and I'll show you how to do it the right way. All right, so for number 1, we're going to be looking at AI influencing. One thing that you have to realize, a lot of people are looking for information regarding AI these days. It's your job to learn far much more than the average person does, and then be able to educate and give out that information to people. So you can make money through affiliate offers or brand deals. If you want an example of how this actually looks like and works, you can check out my handle below on Instagram so that you can at least have an idea of how to set up your account. So basically what affiliate marketing is referring people through a special link that the AI company that you are talking about gives you. And when the people actually start using that application, you get paid maybe a 20% to 45% commission, depending on the company's terms and conditions. So now let's talk about the pros and the cons of this type of business. Okay. The pros of this is basically you've got low startup costs. It doesn't really require you to have a lot of money to actually even start this. You just need your phone and the internet. Number two is quick growth. It actually allows you to grow much faster on social media because people are always looking for the latest trends. And if you're always the first one to get and talk about that information, it will allow your social media to grow exponentially. You can see that especially if you use applications like TikTok and Instagram Reels. It requires minimal gear. Just like I said before, it just requires your phone and you, basically. So you can just go in front of a camera, or you can actually just write blogs on Twitter, just talking about the actual apps. So it doesn't really require too much of front investment. And it's a good business to start, especially if you don't have a lot of income. All right, now the cons. Well, basically, it is a low revenue type of business. It doesn't give you as much money as the other business models that I'll share with you in this video. And secondly, it's quite inconvenient. If you're a person who doesn't like to be in front of the camera, trust me, which I am, but I have to be here so that I can share with you guys this information. It's very inconvenient, and it requires you to be an influencer, which a lot of people I know, they wouldn't want to be in front of the camera all the time. Okay, so now let's look into AI consulting. That's number two. This is actually where business pay you for your information. If you've got information that is valuable and you've gone out there and you've done your research, businesses are curious in knowing how AI can assist their business growth or alleviate their time with their team. So if you choose to be an AI consultant, that's another avenue that you can choose to go into. Currently, I am an AI consultant. I help businesses understand how to use AI and how it can help them relieve their time as well as bring them more money. And to become an AI consultant, you don't need a fancy degree or qualifications. All you just need to know is what AI is doing right now, and you are able to go into a business and help them. So you just do your own research per se, and you'll be able to be miles ahead of the average person on the streets. So currently from this business, I'm making $1,000 every month, and it's recurring too, due to the fact that I actually build the systems that I consult them on. So the pros of this business is basically it's easy to start, unlike the other businesses that I'll talk about. Secondly, you can scale it very quickly. As long as you know what you're doing and you're moving through the space, it doesn't really require too much money to educate yourself in terms of learning. And secondly, it builds confidence. There's nothing more important than real world experience when you're starting to deal with companies and knowing their grievances and solving them, that you can never replace that experience with anything. Now looking at the cons for AI consulting. Well, first of all, it's time consuming because basically what you're doing is trading your time in for money. So it's basically like working for a company or doing a job. So I wouldn't say it's a very good method to get into your path to riches. Secondly, it's not really exhilarating because looking at a pile of companies trying to get a meeting with you and get consulted by you can get daunting. So it can get kind of boring. All right, now to our next model, which is the AI automation agency, or you could call it the AAA agency. This is basically a business model where you set up an agency that deals with AI automated solutions for companies. So for example, it's similar to having a website agency where you're going out and building websites for companies. But in this case, you'll be building AI systems for businesses. So in this context, you think that you probably need to know coding, but that couldn't be further away from the truth. These days, there are now no-code solutions that you can get into, start learning, and within a couple of months, I would say 6 months at best, you'll be able to create a fully fledged chatbot or an AI agent or an AI voice agent. So these technologies I'll show you in the next videos that I'll do. But if you want to see a similar voice agent that I created without any code, you can check the video that I think I'll put here. You definitely see it. I used software that's called Retell that allows me to create an AI voice agent without any code by just using prompt engineering. Prompt engineering is going to be one of the things that you definitely get to hear a lot. This is the business model that I am also currently doing and which I have genuinely found success in it. I've closed deals going up to 10,000 regarding AI chatbots. So with this business model, I'm definitely guaranteed that you are going to be making far much more money than the other business models that I had mentioned before. So let's look at the pros of this. Okay, looking at the pros of this business, it has extremely low startup costs, meaning that you don't really have to spend that much money to actually get started because there are actually free tools that you can actually get into that gives you a free trial and you'll be able to use them and pay for them every single month. Or you can hire a developer, which makes it far much easier to actually start. Secondly, this service has huge demand. A lot of business are slowly going into the AI space. And trust me, when I say they are looking as much help as possible. So if you're able to literally get into this business and be able to provide a service, whether it's an AI agent, whether it's an AI voice agent, whether it's a chatbot solution for businesses, you will definitely be successful in this. Thirdly, it's very scalable, meaning that you can scale it up into a bigger business. So the revenue can be 10x from when you started. All right, now looking at the cons of the AAA agency, it has a steep learning curve. Yeah. And it takes a little while to get started up, but trust me, it's worth it. It may take you some time to actually study the actual business, but when you do and you get all your parts, your moving parts together, you definitely reap far much more than the other businesses that I had mentioned before, like the influencer and the AI consultancy. And once you do get that experience, you'll be now able to teach other people about it like I'm doing now. And that also has a lot of money, which comes to our next business model, which is AI education. This will involve basically creating online courses, online webinars, and ebooks to educate people about the importance of AI or how to start an AI business. Other examples on this is basically teaching parents how to use AI to educate their children, or you can teach real estate agents on how to use AI call agents, how they can basically use it for inbound and outbound purposes. But the catch is you really have to know what you're talking about, and you have to have something that is worth value so that people can actually buy your education products. So really the only way that you can actually have valuable knowledge is for you to actually start an AAA agency so that you can have real world knowledge that you can share and impact to other people who are also looking to do it at AAA agency. So let's look at the pros of this. So the pros of this business is that it can scale like mad. Meaning that you can sell more courses to more people without necessarily having to create more courses, if you get what I mean. You also get high profit margins with this. For example, if a course is made, it doesn't take you more money to actually advertise it. Thirdly, it's extremely scalable. So you can just take one course and sell it to 1,000 people, and the next month you can sell it to 5,000 people. So that is a positive for actually starting an AI education business. All right. Now looking at the cons of this business, it's the fact that it's the learning curve. You have to actually learn how to do this business and make sure that it works and make sure that you know each and every part. You can also choose to not actually go through that process, but trust me, you won't last a long time in this industry because there are industry specific questions that require you to have knowledge on. So starting an AAA business first is far much more of a practical solution to start an AI education business like I'm doing currently. Now, looking at the last one, which is AI SaaS, which means software as a service. So basically what this is you building a software that can solve a specific problem for businesses so that the businesses can pay you monthly subscription fees or yearly subscription fees, depending on how much they would want to use your software. So you can look at it like Netflix. Rather than selling movies or in series, you'd be actually selling AI solutions to businesses. Okay, now looking at the pros of this. Number one, you get recurring revenue. Since companies will be paying monthly or yearly subscriptions, you'll be getting in that paper every month. Secondly, extremely scalable. So meaning that you can get more users the more you advertise that platform. Thirdly, it's got a crazy exit potential. You can sell it to somebody who actually wants and sees potential in the business for thousands or millions. Now looking at the cons. Well, it's very expensive, like I said before. Getting it set up at first, hiring the developers to work on it could cost you an arm and a leg. So I wouldn't advise it being the first business that you look into, especially if you're a beginner. Secondly, it's got an extremely high risk of being outdated. Because looking at the rate and how Google and OpenAI are moving, they could probably create a SaaS software that could probably beat yours in seconds. So it's not something that I would be very eager in putting the extreme amount of beginner capital to it. So those are really the cons. That's why I wouldn't advise you to actually start on a SaaS. Rather start on a AAA agency and then build your money from there and then see what you can do with it. Okay, so after all these businesses that I've listed for you, which one is the best option for you to pick? Without any hesitation, for me, my best option would be choosing the AAA agency. Why is that? It's because from my experience, I believe you learn more valuable skills doing the business. Actually starting the business, going through the steps, failing and understanding what you need to do and solving an actual real world problem is one of the most valuable things that you can come out. Beating the first business that I mentioned, which was influencer market, beating the consultancy. So from my point of view, I would take starting a AAA agency being the most valuable thing that you could do for yourself. Secondly, you make more money. Yeah. So out of all the AI businesses that I've done, starting a AAA agency is basically one of the businesses that have made me the most money to date. You can look into being an AI influencer, but trust me, it's not going to make you as much money as actually solving a real world problem using AI, because you'll be able to sign big contracts ranging from 1,000 to 10,000 to even 50,000. So in conclusion, in terms of making the most money, having an AI automation agency is far much more rewarding than only doing influencer marketing and relying on affiliate marketing commissions. Okay, so running a AAA agency is actually a gateway that opens more opportunities for you in the AI education field and the AI SaaS field, because you'll be now taking that knowledge that you would have gained from solving real world problems to actually educate people about how to do it and how to implement the actual businesses step by step. Also, you can create SaaS companies which comprise of the softwares that you would have created for the previous companies that you would have dealt with, and you would have inside knowledge on how to deal with certain problems that come from these companies, whether it's from their clients or whether it's within the actual company. So I would say this is a no-brainer. And finally, we are still in the early stages of AI. And some businesses don't really understand what AI can do for them. And I feel like this is the opportunity for you to establish yourself as being one of the people who introduces this to the masses. So because when you look at the field right now, not a lot of people are talking about AI. So it will be similar to the stage where lead generation was a thing. And when people started creating websites and funnels, the people who actually started with those businesses, like the Chet Bartlett's, made a killing. And then the people that came after, I can say last year, are only receiving the crumbs of the business. So trust me, when you start during the time when this boom is coming, you will not regret doing this, because you'll be the leader of this education and people will be looking at you as the main source or the main channel of this knowledge. Okay, now I'm going to be talking about the 3 phases that we mentioned before, which are how to find clients, how to deliver projects, and how to scale the business. This is the most important phase, and I would ask you guys to pay attention. So there are 3 key phases that you need to go through in order to build your business. The first one is to learn, secondly, apply, and finally, monetize. So with these 3 phases, it will take you from not knowing anything to running a fully fledged AI business. So with these 3 phases, you build skills, experience, as well as earn money. Okay, so to start an AI automation agency, you are going to need to learn some basic skills. So don't worry about coding or anything, because nowadays there are no code platforms that help you create and automate systems without knowing code at all. So to start off, you need to learn prompt writing. Prompt writing is something that you're going to be using to instruct these AI systems to do certain things and certain tasks, depending on what AI solution you're trying to create. So what AI solutions are available? 1, there is an AI chatbot. AI chatbots are basically text chatbots where you can find on WhatsApp or within a website. Secondly, there are AI voice agents. Basically, what AI voice agents, businesses use them to answer or call their clients. And these are all created within platforms that require no code. And the third one is an AI workflow agent. These are basically agents that deal with day-to-day mundane tasks that are done within a company. Well, and the second step is applying. So applying is very important because it is something that builds your experience. So real world experience is necessary. After you learn the no-code tools that I was telling you about, you then go out there, look for clients, offer your services. And when you do get a client, that experience that you gain cannot be replaced by anything. Whether it's theoretical experience will definitely top that. So go out there and don't be scared, because it's quite intimidating. I will not lie to you, because approaching a company and telling them that I've got an AI a solution for you, it sounds a little crazy, but trust me, companies do actually look for these solutions. And when you start realizing that, that experience cannot be beat by anything. All right. Now, finally, when you've gained the experience, it's now time to monetize your product, right? And there are ways that you monetize that I'll show you right now. So the first one is the hourly rate. So how you do this is by charging the amount of work that you do by the hours that it takes. So basically what you're doing is estimating the time, which will be in hours, in terms of how much time it will take you to actually fulfill a service. And then you can set yourself an hourly rate. So for example, you can say that I charge $50 per hour. And then you can bill the client for the total hours that you would have taken. So it's, like I said, it's similar to being a freelancer. It's very simple. So it's a sure way for you to actually start earning. Now, looking at the second one is hiring a developer. So if you don't want to do all the technical work by yourself, you can hire a developer to do that work for you, which in a sense will free up your time. First, you have to estimate how long the project will take in hours, and then you can then calculate how much the developer will charge you to deliver the project within that time. And then you're going to charge your client 2 to 3 times the amount that the developer charged you. 2 to 3x markup is the best way to get started with this type of model. This is also called cost plus pricing. This is where you take the charge of the developer and then multiply it by 2 or by 3 and then charge your client. So when you actually find a client that you are finally going to be dealing with, it's important to understand the client and what niche they are coming from, so that whenever you do find your other clients, they come directly from the same niche, so that you don't have to always restart with a new client and create new solutions, which will be frustrating and will take time. You'd rather take the solutions that you've already built. So let's say you're doing it for a hospital and you're doing it for, let me say a dental surgery. It's an appointment setting chatbot. You can take that appointment setting chatbot and go to the next dentist and show them the results that you had already done for the previous dentist. So it makes it far much easier if you do it like that. Now we're coming into the 6-month roadmap that I talked about. You'll find a document in the description below. It's going to be a 6-month roadmap outlining each and every step that you need to take, whether it's the software, the prompt writing that you need to study, the contracts that you'll be using in the business. Everything will be just in there for you to take. And I'm giving this to you absolutely free. You don't have to pay for it. So if you have any questions about anything that I mentioned in this video, feel free to comment below and tell me so that I can make more detailed videos on specific topics that you would actually want. My name is Tony. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe so that this video can reach more people. I'll see you later.